sight. It's work in progress. We're not there yet. We keep working on ourselves to be better versions of ourselves daily, consistently. The word is consistently, not once in a while. Oh. Some people, they will read on Monday and finish that chapter on Friday and start their affirmation on Tuesday. They will not finish it on. No, we're not talking about that. Kaizen, small incremental changes done consistently over time is what will give us the result we want. The word is consistently, not once in a while. Stay on site. Focus on your focus. Mind your own business. Avoid distraction. There's too many distractions. The phone, social media, all sorts. Friends that are not on the same path as you. They're a huge distraction. There's some people, it's their friends that are hurdles in their wheels. If you don't have the same people that are on the same page as you, they will distract you. There's no neutral exchange now. It's either they're making you better or they're making you worse. When you want to decide what to do, or why are we doing what we're all doing? A lot of us are usually entrepreneurs by default. Maybe you finish school. Most of us are not like Dr. Abib. Had finished school, knew what he wanted to do, and said, okay, I'm going to start NYSC 2 days after, and this is what I want to do. I, for one, I didn't start business intentionally. I started it by default. I had some conditions that I had to fill in. My husband, after I got married, he said he was going to get me a job in the bank. So I was waiting for the bank to come to Ibadan. Fountain Trust, I can never forget. So there was one day I went to Dubai and I saw Fountain Trust. So I got to him, I said, oh boy, Fountain Trust is in Ibadan now. Maybe you said you knew somebody. You were going to help me get a job. And he said, you know something? Sit. Any job that you are going to do, that you cannot go and pick the children up from school, feed them, help them with their homework, and I'll come back from work and meet you at home. You cannot do it. I was like, ha! See this man, this man has deceived me. I said, what kind of job is that? That is a teaching job. I cannot teach you. Am I not teaching now? I cannot teach you. What kind of job is that? I was so upset. But you know what he told me? He said, whatever you decide to do, even if I know that you would fail, I will support you 200%. But those conditions, thank you, sir. Those conditions, we have to meet it. We're not bringing children to the world for somebody else to train. Because at the end of the day, the story of our life is reflected in our children. So go and think about it. And then come back. And this was what I did. What is one thing you would love to do that you will do for free? That will give you so much joy and so much passion that even if you're not making money out of it, you would do it and you would love it. Because that is what gives you the staying power in business. When you are running it and it's not running. Sometimes you are running your business and that business is not running. You're like, what is happening? I thought I had this vision from God now, So what is that gift that you have? That thing that you will do effortlessly, that thing that people tell you, you're so good at doing, that you know that if you decide to make a business out of it, you will do it exceedingly well. So we have to think about that. Read around it. Don't just say, okay, I like to do this thing. And you don't get informed. You're not reading on, is it printing? You're not doing apprenticeship like she said. She saw somebody that is doing it so well. and you go and meet that person and say, please, can you show me the rope? It's not everybody that will say get lost. Most people that did it the right way, they will show you the rope. We have a lot of doctors here that worked under Dr. Abib. So he showed them the rope. He would not do, if you are not, your hands are clean, you're not doing some mago under. There's nothing to hide. If everybody in Ibadan gets well, can Ibadan Central Hospital take care of everybody? No. So why would I say Oju Orun Teyefo like Yoruba people will say? There's enough space for everyone. It's the bottom that is crowded. There's a place at the top. Our vision is to get to the top. It is the bottom, Leroti Poju. You know? So we need to read around it, transform the interest into passion. Doctor will say, if what you love is not loving you in return, stop loving it though. I mean, if I'm loving you, you should love me now. You should give me money. I should make money out of it. Stick to your gift. Some of us, this is Adetunji is doing soap. And she's making a lot of money. She just changed her car to Jaguar. Are you? I like Jaguar. Maybe I should start making soap. Are you? Dr. Abib is a doctor. He has started doing hotel. Maybe I should start doing hotel. And we're not learning about it. He told us that before he started hotel, he had read, he read, and he now reproduced himself, got two people. Okay, these books I've read, you need to go and read it. Then come back. Let me see who amongst you is suitable for what I want you to do. But some of us are not reading anything. We're just seeing the soap, we're seeing the Jaguar, and that is all we want. We're not ready to do the homework, to stick to that thing, even when we know it won't be all smooth. Life is hills and valley. We go up, we come down. If you know, even in the medical line, if the line is saying "pee," you are dead. I mean, yes. So there will be peaks and valleys. Things will come. Les Brown will say, "Is either you are coming out of a problem, you are in a problem, or you are going into one." But problems are inevitable. It's part of life. That is what moves us forward. It's a propeller. You learn from it. You know, okay, I won't do it again this way, and then I move forward. But some people will let that problem, that failure, stop them. Anybody that has not failed has not tried enough. People have failed over and over. Michael Jordan said, I've failed over and over and over again. That is why I succeeded. So it is part of the journey. It is not failure or success. Failure is part of the success journey. Become an expert. Be the best in your field. Know everything that you need to know about what it is that you're doing. Make the most of the learning curve. The time you put into learning and the effort you will get, you put into learning and the things you will get at the end of the day. Some of us were not putting enough time. Some of us are not reading 1 hour a day. Some of us will read, maybe we're at work and you are tired and you want to read. That level of assimilation is not there. We know that serotonin is released 4 a.m. in the morning. That is when your brain is the most assimilative. That is when you are calmest. That is when your level of absorption and assimilation is the highest. That's 1 hour of reading in the morning. You can read 7 hours during the day and you don't get the equivalent of it. So we need to know that there's a right time to do the right thing. And there's a wrong time to do the right thing. Focus on your focus. Focus means follow one course until successful. One. A lot of us will say we are serial entrepreneurs. We're doing so many things at the same time. Jack of all trades. And some people will say it's multitasking. You can do it. It's okay. You can. I have 7 businesses. Even Dangote did not start with 7. He started with 1. Then you perfect it. You make sure it can run by itself. Then you replicate. Then you can do something else because now Dr. Habib just came in. He doesn't even live here anymore. And the businesses are running. There's a structure on ground. He has replicated himself in all these people that are working for him. But we will not do one successfully first. That printing job, we haven't gotten a hang of it yet. We're thinking of drop shipping. And then we say, Nini is sewing. And I have an idea about sewing. Maybe I should start sewing. And then, we're just distracted. We're torn all over the place. You're trying to do a little of this, a little of that, a little of Gogbe. And at the end of the day, Kini Gangan, what exactly are you doing? Tell me. Because last month, when I spoke to you, you were talking about this one. This month is, even people won't take you seriously. They won't. Because they'll say she does not know what she wants to do. I had a sister that was like that. She those people that have too much energy. And then one day she told my husband she's doing catering. And the next day she's doing poultry. My husband said, in the last 3 years, you've told me 5 things that you're doing. Nobody's going to take you seriously. Because you don't have one thing that you're doing that we can say, okay, this is what Olayinka does. Because you're trying to do too many things. Mind your own business. Be single-minded. One thing first. Dr. Habib did hospital for how many years before he went to hospitality? And he says it's the same thing. He's managing of beds. Hospital, hospitality. But he did not start the hospital and started doing the hospitality and started doing so many other things. So let us be single-minded. When we start with what we're doing, let us perfect it first. That thing that Mrs. Adetuji was saying got her burnt. It was because she was not single-minded. It was like, there's money in this one too. But all the avenues in our own business, have we done everything possible within our own business before we're thinking of vying out to do something else? We need to grow, change, expand. That business that you have one in Bodija. Do the same business in Akubo. Do the same business in, where else is Eleyele? It's the same thing, but then we have different customers in those areas. The people that live in Akoba, the people that live in Bodija, the people that live in LA are not the same thing. But it's still the same business. We're just growing it. We're expanding it. We're developing within what it is that we're doing. And then the social media has made everywhere a global village. You can even sell to people in Kutu Wenji now. I sell to people in Port Harcourt, people in Abuja, places I've never gone to myself. My goods are going there. So even the physical space is not really important now. You see a lot of people, they don't even have physical shops. Some people will even say, okay, I do this. Is in line with what it is that you do. Can I put some of my stuff here? And then you make commission on it. They're not paying rent. They're helping them sell. They're giving you based on what it is that they're selling. And that is one business model that a lot of people need to look into too. Look into giving people referral commission. Somebody told somebody about your business. Give them discounts. A lot of us, we do advertisement for a lot of people that are not doing us anything. You're so close. Nini is not giving me commission. But I'm advertising for her. So why don't we formalize it that, look, if you refer someone to me, I have a referral commission or a referral discount. So the next time you come, I'll give you 20%. That way, the places you cannot get to, people will get there. They said, EBT, SAODB, or how did they say that? So you have a lot of people advertising on your behalf. Because right now, believe me, in this day and age, people will say, what is in it for me? They might not come out and tell you. But once you tell them there's something in it for you, There's something in it for you. You will get something too. And they will look out for you too. Release the folly of universal expertise. I know everything. I know this, I know that. And you cannot know everything. Focus on your focus. When I first started my business, my mom would travel and she would come back. She would say, Mude, I bought some clothes for children. Can you put it in a corner in your shop? I said, Mommy, I don't sell children's clothes. I sell home things. She said, it doesn't matter. Put it in a... I know, it matters. Let them come in and know what exactly Gongo is she doing. Not that there's clothes here, there's gari here, there's slippers here. What exactly Gongo is she doing? And a lot of us do that. Yeah, there's money in it. Oh. Yeah, somebody, I wore this shoe. I'm making clothes. I wore this shoe. Somebody now said, you should be selling shoes. Oh, and because of that, people that have not done any business successfully before, you are taking advice from them. And you now start selling shoes. And you know the wahala with shoes. I will come. I wear size 8. You have 8.5. I cannot buy. You know? And then you say, and it was Olayinka that told me. No! Let us stop taking advice from people that have not done it successfully. A lot of people will tell you that it's so difficult to do business in this Nigeria. You ask them, how many businesses have you run? And they're looking at it. I have not run any, but people say, you can't say from what people say. And then those are the people we listen to. Friends, I was doing a training with my staff the other day, and I will say, how do you learn? How do you improve yourself? She said that from what people say. I said, from what people say is what you use to improve yourself. You are not serious yet. When there are books, there are audio seminars that you are not listening to. There was this audio seminar I was listening to when I was coming, and Les Brown said, you can count the number of people that are looking at me here. People that are willing to put time into developing themselves. Let it be Davido that is doing concerts in Ibadan. All the academic suites will be sold out. You will not be able to count the number of people that waste their time on stupid things. But people that are intentional about their life are very few. That is why, despite the petrol scarcity and all the scarcity and everything, we are here. Few people. But when it's nonsense, I beg your pardon, like football. I don't know what think football is nonsense. But you see a lot of people going to the viewing station, the whole street is on fire because Chelsea is playing Manchester, I don't know. And everybody, they will close down their shops because they want to watch some people that are making billions of dollars. They're now closing down their own livelihood to go and watch Chelsea. DSTV just increased their prices now to 50,000, right? And I asked my husband, I said, what gong is it that you watch on this TV? He said, it's football now. I said, so you want to be paying 50,000 every month to watch football? If you give me that money, I will entertain you. And that is what we do. We waste our time on stupid things that are not giving any value. I'm sorry to the football fans, the men. My apologies. I know Dr. Habib is Arsenal. I don't understand it, but then beyond being interested, be committed. Let us be committed to our commitment. Let us be obsessive about what it is that we're doing. People think obsession is something negative. Sometimes it's magnificent obsession. You're obsessed with it to make sure you know that it's going to work. You know that all these trials and tribulations are just in the middle. The middle is usually messy. But at the end is always beautiful and glorious. So in that middle, we're going to keep hope alive. We're going to have faith. Faith is evidence of things hoped for but not seen. But we know in our heart of hearts that if we give it everything that we've been learning, like she said, the things that we've been learning here, that we are applying, that is when we get that result we want. For some of us, that sinking fortune she's talking about, some of us don't have it. So people don't have it. And we've heard that sinking fund here forever. The doctor have talked about, I can never forget one conversation I had with him on charity. He had tears in his eyes. He said, if people know the blessing that comes from giving, they will not but give. With tears in his eyes. That day, me, I took it like this. So my charity, I don't play with it. And a lot of us will be thinking, until I have plenty money. No. If you cannot give 5,000 out of 50,000, it will be difficult for you to give 5 million out of 50 million. It will be difficult because you've not cultivated that habit. And it helps. There's a Yoruba adage that says, Ọlọ́run ṣọba olóore ọ̀fẹ́. That is when you do something for God, He repays you in multiple fold. That is not the reason why we're doing it, but that is what happens. And those people that cannot help themselves, who else to help them but you? Now more than ever, they don't need our pity, they need our help, especially children in the orphanage home. Work free to unleash your potential. Some of us are still in the 9 to 5 job thing. We're still working per hour, not per what we're bringing to the table. It is only when you're an entrepreneur that you get value for what you're bringing to the table. There's so many jobs too that gives you commission apart from your salary. So they're appreciating the fact that apart from you coming 9 to 5, if you do extra, I'll give you extra. But how many jobs are doing that? Very few, especially in Nigeria, very few give commission. Because they will tell you that what they are making for is not enough for them. Family business. When we start our businesses, what we're trying to do is to leave something for our children to be able to take over. So we will not spend all this money. Some school fees that some people are paying now is investment. Am I lying? It's like investing in stock, in bonds, in gold, in everything. That is how much school fees are. So if you are building a business that your children can't take over from, what are we doing? We are training them for them to go and work for somebody else at the end of the day. And then when we have a business that is running, I have a friend that told his wife to resign so they can run the business together. And they're doing it well. They're doing it well. And she's getting more than what she was getting when she was working for somebody else. So if you have your wife or your husband comes to the seminar with you, if people are on the same page, you understand all these things that we're talking about. Why can't we do businesses together? And when the children see daddy and mommy doing this business and we're able to travel and do all this business will be profitable. They get interest in what it is that you're doing that is making them live this pleasurable life. But if you are doing that business and school resumption comes, they said we should buy school books. We'll borrow. Not all of them you buy. You know how parents will say, we are the one that will decide which one is important and which one is not. Some parents are like that. You don't need this one. You don't need that. How do you know? Because you cannot afford it. What we don't understand that things will not change for us except we change. And the success of our business is 80% internal, 20% what is happening around us. It is our attitude to the things that we're doing that is going to determine if we're going to be successful or not. I'm not saying that government policy does not affect us, but all those things is just 20%. First degree courses remain basic. Most of us that has first degree, how many people actually use what they learned in school? How many people here learned something in school that you are still using? Can I see you raise your hand? Can you see? 4. out of me. I did biochemistry. I've never done anything biochemistry in my life. So when we are done in school, that is when the education gongo starts. If we are lucky, like Dr. Abib, and we started doing it while we were in school. So while he was reading that thing can grow rich, and people were saying that you fail, you know how you are going to grow rich because he was busy developing himself alongside reading and trying to just pass. Abisa. Because he was just ready to just pass. But that thing can grow rich was the basic thing, was the main thing. Because we know that is what is important. That personal development, not what we read in school. Because if you read all you do personal, you do first degree, masters, you just be employed by someone now. Les Brown said, the most difficult people to teach about financial success are the people that are most read. The professors, they're the most difficult people to teach about money because they're thinking money is not important. Money is everything. It's right up there with oxygen. Yes, it is that important. We need oxygen to breathe and live. The same thing with money. Even marriages will break up without money. That I love you at the preliminary stage. I'm loving you because I'm hoping, I'm praying for you that you're going to be successful. I will not love you forever like that. Oh. It's true. Ask women. There's no romance without finance. You better hear. Yes. We're starting out like that because we are hoping and praying it will get better. We're still loving it, just two of us. When the children start to come in, and you come back and you tell me there's no money for food. The children cannot go to school. The love is going out small by small through the door and through the window, through the roof self. Yes, now. Am I lying, women? Career choice begins after graduation. You know how it is that students will graduate and they will now be thinking, now I've arrived. They've only just begun. If you've never read a self-development book in your life, the education gongo just started. But how many people know that? A lot of people don't. Like we said, it's only the 3%. I was telling my daughter the other day, she just got a job. And I told her, she said, I get a job, then side hustle. I said, no, your job is a side hustle. Entrepreneurship is the main deal. So see your job as a side hustle to get the experience in your field. But don't see it as the normal thing. We need to start talking to our children like that. And if we have businesses that they can step in, we don't have to do too much talk. It is not you don't have businesses ready for them that will be talking to convince them. That is why that family business thing is very important. Follow existing family visions. We have family visions. We all have. In my house, continuous growth is one of it. Improvements to contribution to life. Charity is one of it. So what vision do you have for your family? What do you talk about when you gather your children together? What vision do they see? What promises are you making so they can buy into your vision? Because it's when that vision is attractive, it's promising. It's like you giving children sweets. Or you come back from work and say, is my business that is making me take you to America for the holiday? The day you are going to work, I say, I have to go. I'm late for my business. Okay, Daddy, let me help you carry your bag so we can go to America next day. Because they bought into your vision. They see that it's working. But if it's not working, they're like, I think we had, Olire doesn't come anymore. He used to come from Ijebu. There was a day he said his children were making fun of him because he said, Daddy, all this thing on your vision board. It's been there forever. We don't see it. We don't see the vision. After a while, they'll start. And you know, children of nowadays, they're very smart. They ask you questions that make you rethink your life. Yes. And he said, you tell me that you have done this thing on the vision board for since I was little. I have not seen anything manifest. And it's lack of consistency in what we are being taught that doesn't let it manifest. Because I've taken a lot of things off my vision board. And everything that I took off my vision board, I learned from here. Every single thing. Before I met Dr. Abibu, I didn't know anything. I read for Mills and Boons, Agatha Christie, Sidney Sheldon, Jeffrey Archer, you know all those books, romance. That was all I read. But they were not taking me anywhere. Because even African men are not the one in Sidney Sheldon. I mean, they don't bear this resemblance to what we read in those novels. So it's like an illusion. Things that you're reading that are not teaching you anything. Until I started learning. And when we learn and we apply, it changes everything. It's not just one part, it's not just finances. Because I can remember my girls, I have two girls, first two, they were having a conversation. And the second one said, Mommy used to beat you. You'll be wondering what exactly did you do? And the first one said, when did she even change self? And the second one said, when she started reading. They noticed when the change came. Yes, that when she started reading, she became a better mother, a better wife, emotionally more balanced, not just money. She started talking about, okay, your daddy will do Europe, me, I'll do African holiday. When I started reading, before holiday, they will come and ask me when they come for holiday, Mommy, are we traveling? I'll say, go and ask your father. And the father will say, there's one money coming from somewhere. When that money comes, you know. The money that has not come, you are planning. And holiday will come and go, and the children might not go. So one day I walked up to him after I started doing 110. And I said, do you know something? Can I do African holidays with the kids? And you do Europe, you do America. And he said, hey, why not? And you know the African holiday thing, Dr. Abib, when we were in Oshosami, there was one seminar we had. And he said, if there's anything you want to start to do, and you look around your current situation and you don't see how it's possible, just write it down. Write it down. And that day I wrote it down. And since that year till now, that African holiday we haven't failed. We've gone 8 times. The power of writing things down. And I sponsored it. Because the first one, my husband was like, so this African holiday thing, how much is everything? I was now telling him, he said, at the school fees in January. I said, I told you, leave this to me. Don't even ask me. If I say I'm going to do it, you should know that I've planned towards it. And since then, when we're just going, we'll just say, just take add to your African holiday, the way we're buying tickets, accommodation, and everything, he doesn't know. And that is what coming for seminars like this did for me. It changed my life. Changed it completely in every area. You yourself, you will not even notice the change. After a while, you look back and you're like, Emi no. And we still have a long way to go. Far. But that change is gradual. Consistency. Obey, respect as you climb. They're saying write down your goals. You are saying it is in my head now. I will remember it again. Maybe just to remember goals. Do you read it every night before you fall asleep? Shortly before you fall asleep. So your subconscious mind and the angel of sleep can work on it for you. Do you read your goals in the morning when you wake up? Because when you constantly read it, they said if the why is strong enough, the how will show up. But you have to even remind yourself why you want this thing. You have to even remind yourself, what are those goals? What do I want? Where do I want to be in 2 years, in 3 years, in 10 years? Let us break it down. Because sometimes it seems so much, we might get discouraged. But when we break it down into bits, this is what I want to achieve by December. Like my sisters and I had a plan, and we said by December 31st, this is. And we wrote it down and we signed. Having an accountability partner is so key because you know you have told someone. You know, if you just have it in your mind, you told yourself, you can say, well, it didn't work, no here. But when you tell someone, she made you write it down, she made you sign, and she's asking you how far. Even if you want to sleep on it, because that's how far. You don't want to tell her what you told her last Thursday, next Thursday. You will look for something to do to make sure it's far. Like we're in May, the 5th month. The year is almost gone. It's almost halfway through. It seems this year flew. Is it only me? Yeah. Flew by. You know why? You're over 40. When you're over 40, time quickens. You don't get 4 weeks in a month anymore. It's 2 months, 2 weeks. The older you get, the faster the time goes. You haven't noticed. Pay attention. And when you owe money too, you'll be thinking, if I just paid this bill last week, another one has come, school fees has come again. When did these children resume school? Have you? I thought it was 3 months. Are they shortened, you know? But when we have enough, we'll even pay school fees in advance. Yeah, I have a friend. She's a single mother. She pays her children's school fees 1 year in advance. She goes to the school and she says, I want to pay the school fees for the session. What discount are you going to give me? Schools give discounts. I hope you know. Yes. They give discounts. And she does it. She has 4 kids. And she pays in advance. Because she has planned her life like that. School fees is not a surprise for men. A lot of men, school fees is a surprise. Another time has come. Because we're not planning, we're not budgeting. Learn the culture of organization. The reason why Dr. Abib can live and go is because there's a structure on ground. How many of us have structures in our businesses? And some of us will be thinking, the business is still small. There's no need for structure now. There is a need for structure. What you are going to be when you are big, you start when you are small. Like Yoruba proverb will say, "Nǹkan tá bá máa gbà ní tálíkà, àbí tá bá máa gbà lólówó, tálákà la ti ń kọ̀." That is what you want to do when you are done. Start doing it now. Some of you have one staff. There's no need to train my staff. It's only one. Yes, train. Do the blueprint as if it's a blue chip company, as if it's a conglomerate. And start planning it now. Let's organize. This is who, the cleaner should not be coming to you now to tell you that soap has finished. You have other things to use your head for now. The cleaner should report to somebody else. The other person should report to somebody else. The people you are meeting should be the top people. So you don't use your brain to be thinking about nonsense. The broom has broken. The cobweb broom has, some people are still in charge of that. Because we can't trust. Some of us can't trust. We feel everybody is a thief. So we want to micromanage everything. There's no miscellaneous account where they can buy fuel. They want to buy fuel now, they will come to you. They want to buy bloom, they will come to you. You'll be stressed now at the end of the day, thinking of mundane things that does not progress the business. Because you are thinking they would steal. Like I always tell my friends, when they say, book my own money, are you a thief? You cannot generalize now and say everybody is a thief. And you trust people until they prove themselves untrustworthy. You test them with small things. Because you cannot micromanage. It's too much headache. All progress must be knowledge-driven. Don't just say, somebody said. Have you read? Have you investigated? Have you done your due diligence? Recently, I was on a group and I have this WhatsApp mentoring group. And I was recommending a product that Mrs. Adetunji has in her company. And then somebody came to meet me in the DM and said, do you trust them? I said, look, anything I've not personally tried myself. I said, the first thing I said is, I've been banking with her for 8 years. I've done a lot of products with her. Even my vacation African thing, she's the one I do it with. Well, so I will not recommend someone that I cannot for whatsoever. I say that, don't worry, she's good. And she has integrity. So whatever decisions you make, don't just make it because somebody said something. Find out, make sure it's the right thing. Read what you need to read, listen to what you need to listen to, acquire skills that you know are necessary. So you make informed information. Add value, be a team player, be exemplary. A lot of us in our businesses, we're Oga, Madam at the top, and you get down, carry your bag. What's carry my bag? Madam is come. You know, you're not a team player. You're not behaving as if these people working for me are like my family members. We should treat our staff like our family member, people that can come to dinner table with us. Because we can't do it alone. Like I always tell my staff, anything I ask you to do is because I can do it myself, and you've seen me done it severally. So I will not ask you to do what I know I cannot do. Are we even looking out for them? You know, sometimes, recently, with all these hiking prices and everything, now we have a welfare account. So every month I'll just ask them, what exact, do you guys have a food stuff that you want? I have somebody that sells food stuff. Sometimes they'll say it's rice. We get a sack of rice, just split. Just something to let them know you feel their pain. You know, and let us live by example. If we are telling them, be prudent, be frugal, save money, and every day you come, you go and be buying, what restaurant is new in Ibadan? I don't even know. I don't even care which one is new. A new restaurant, you buy lunch there every day, then you now come to training and say, be frugal, be prudent, don't be wasteful. Delay gratification, every day you are changing your phone. But you are preaching what you're not practicing. You know, the word is practice what you preach. I don't think so. I think you should only preach what you practice. It is what you are doing that you should be saying. Don't be saying it and wanting to do it. Because you should be living by example. Let them see that thing that you're talking about in you. Set yourself on fire. It's not literal fire. But you know, sometimes, and let me tell you one thing I also know concerning this. The people you surround yourself with is very important. Some of you have firefighters in your life. That ember is rekindling, is about to, you just see somebody that will just come and piss on your fire, and you call them your friends. There's some of your friends that you have conversation with them, and you are down in the dumps for the next 2 hours because they're so negative. You are surrounding yourself with people that are not going anywhere, and you think it doesn't matter. Constantly, we need to shake our friendship tree. Constantly, because it's your life, oh, you are the CEO of your life. You can fire, you can promote, you can remove, you can do anything. So you need to look at your friends sometimes and say, where is this relationship taking me? What is the benefit? Is it a mutually beneficial relationship? Some relationships are one-sided. Les Brown is one of my favorite people ever. He's a motivational speaker. He said there was that he always feels as if he should be solving everybody's problem. So when people come to him, they say something, something, something. He just gives them money. And that one day his secretary came to him because he had given her a list of people that he wanted to send money to. And the secretary came to him and said, bless, and gave him a sheet of paper and a pen and said, if anything ever happens to you and you get in some kind of trouble, of all these people that you're always helping, I just want you to write it down, who will come to your aid? And she said, why are you asking? I said, I'm just curious. Just write it down. Of all these people that you are constantly helping, that you are constantly calling your friends, who will come to your head? And he said, when she left, he sat there and he couldn't write a single person. Some of us in our lives, we have people like that. That you cannot call, they will not answer. They'll say, I'm so sorry, me too, I know get. Because they're not on the same path as you. So if anything even happens, there's nobody to run to. You have no support system. There's nobody that will vouch for you. Some of us, we don't, you don't even know who your friends are. It's your friends that know if they're your friends. And they said, Talika kan láàrin olùṣe. Thank you. Olówó kan láàrin. Our life is God's gift to us. What we do with it is our gift to God. He has already given us everything. We are made in His own image. Everything we need is already in us. That is why they said success is 80% internal, 20% external. So that means that it's not some of us, it's every single one of us. What are we doing with that gift that has already been given to us? Are we manifesting it? Are we constantly making excuses why we are not doing what we know we should do? Some of us will write that to-do list every day and then procrastinate. Procrastination means planning to do tomorrow what you should have done day before yesterday. And then we do other things that are irrelevant. Some people, when they go to the toilet with their phone, it's when paja paja. You know what, paja paja? You are seated and blood is no longer flowing to your leg. That is when you realize, I've been here forever. And then we now tell you, wake up in the morning at 4 and do your savers. You say you don't have time. But sometimes you spend 2 hours on the toilet on your social media page, looking at other people's lives, seeing who married who, and who had 7 children. Who is this one with this one? You'll be laughing, kaka, kaka, kaka. We all know ourselves, Abby. Now, when I get home, I leave my phone downstairs. I don't take it upstairs. Because that is my engine room. And I try as much as possible to avoid distraction. A lot of us do not know that that phone, if you don't kill it, it will kill you. And we're not paying attention. Phone, especially. Some people wake up in the morning, the first thing they reach for is their phone. Some people will say, my Bible is on it. Don't put your Bible or your Quran on your phone. Don't. Go and get a physical thing. Because you know that once you start to read that Bible, one ping will come in, you will go and check that ping and you don't go back. You know, it's so much distraction. Even at workplace, the staff you are employing there, the security at my gate, that they are supposed to do security in the estate, they are on their phone. The distraction is so much. So we need to be conscious of it. Upgrading what God has given us. This is what we're doing. We're upgrading. Have you noticed that before? WhatsApp will tell you what your WhatsApp chemical version has expired. Go to Play Store to upgrade. Abi? WhatsApp is not even asking you to upgrade anymore. They're doing it for you. You just wake up one morning, your WhatsApp, the fonts have changed. What you get okay? What is that? You know that kind of thing. You're like, wow. WhatsApp is upgrading automatically. You, uncle. Machine is doing it automatically now. They're not even asking for your consent. The same thing with your computer. Your computer will say, are you ready to upgrade? They're constantly saying it. There's always something new. Are we upgrading our own lives? That thing that you read 6 months ago, in 2 years, is obsolete. So it's a constant thing. Constant. Be on top of your game. Ask which book have you read? You know, I have this mentoring group with Gen Zs, young people. Young people. Ayomite is on my group. You will not believe what these children are teaching me. Because every Sunday we have a 2-hour conversation. And I'm learning so much from them. It's called mentoring up and mentoring down. They're learning from me, I'm learning from them. And sometimes I finish the conversation with them and I'm like, wow. I'm okay. And the ideas they have, the things they say. I'm like, wrong. You know, but wait, some of us, we feel that we cannot learn from anybody. We think we know too much. If you think you know too much, you don't know anything. Because the more you read, the more you realize there's so much you don't know. And does that happen to you when you are reading? You now say, it will not soon saw you. You know, you just have that moment that it happens to me a lot. And I'm like, you still have plenty, you need to go. This journey is far, oh. But you know, we're on it. Okay, I think I'm going back. We talked about focusing on one thing until successful. We need to be single-minded. Let us focus on our focus. We've done this. What am I doing? Okay. Ṣé mò ń padà sẹ́yìn ni? Okay. You like? When I was young, I thought money was the most important thing in life. Now that I am old, I know that it is. Didn't I just tell you that money is up there with oxygen? They said people will tell you that money is not the most important thing, but everybody wants to find out themselves. Let me have the money first. Then I can tell myself it's not the most important, but you cannot tell me it's not the most important thing. Because we know money makes life pleasurable. It makes it easy. It doesn't give you, there's some headache they call stress headache. It's usually money related. It's on one side of the head. They call it stress headache. And you're like, what exactly is happening? It is money issue. Wọ́n ní owó ní tòun ò bá sí nílé. Oh God. Money is not the most important thing in the world, but money affects every important thing in the world. Everything. Everything. That is why it's also wrong when you are doing business. Some people will say, I'm doing business, let me just keep putting all the money back in. No! You have to have a sinking fund if something happens to the business. You have to have money for restock, autonie. You have to have money for charity. You have to disburse your funds. You have to be liquid. There was somebody I was talking to and he said, oh, all my money is in investment. I said, So when the children's school fees is due, you take your dividend paper to go and give the head meter. She'll just be looking at you. So we need that money to spend. Apart from the one that we're putting in our sinking fund, apart from the one we're using for charity, it is important. Man works for money. That is all we're all doing now. I think some of us should have investments that are making money for us while we're sleeping. I think it's Warren Buffett that said, if you have to work to make money, you will work till you die. Some of us is 7 days make one pay, like they'll say in the US, because they pay them weekly. Some of us is every day make the pay. Some people they've been doing that business, they've never gone for vacation. They are delegating their enjoyment to madam and the children. What is the essence of working so hard for money if you cannot enjoy it? Some people cannot even leave their business for one day. Not to talk of 1 week, not to talk of 1 month, not to talk of relocate somewhere else and let the business run in your absence. Because that is what Dr. Habib is doing. Money is working for him now. He has invested the time, the effort in him working for money. Now the money is working. I'm sure the alert just come in and he will just look at the phone and smile. Sir? We all know it is true, sir. May we all get there. What stage are you? Time for the truth. Are we all still in that man works for money stage? Has money started working for us? The beautiful thing is we're not part of this 90% that they are talking about. Because they said 90% of the people stay forever in stage one, where man works for money. We're not part of them, are we? No, that is why we're here. Because we're all trying to migrate to that stage two, where money works for us. And we don't have to go to work to make the money, because we already have a structure, we have an organization, we've replicated ourselves in people, and our businesses are thriving in our absence. Have we all read that book? How to Make Your Business Thrive in Your Absence by Dr. Habib Olamitoye. If you have not read it, go and get a copy. Grow beyond self-employment to escape stage one. When we all start, we're all self-employed. As we grow, we move away from that self-employment stage and we start moving towards money working for us. Let us not stay in that self-employment stage that we have to go to work every day. The stages that we are now, we can decide sometimes I don't really feel like going to work and they will not miss you. Sometimes when I travel, my business do better. Has it ever happened to anybody? When you are not there, you find out that maybe sometimes we are the hurdle in their wheel. As long as there's a structure on ground, you have an organization. There's an organogram in your business. Pay attention to personal treasury, your sinking fund. I think that all these things should be done in percentages. How much money you put in your sinking fund. Like we all know the Pareto law that says 80-20. That 20 is 10% for yourself, 10% for charity. But like Dr. Habib said, as we progress, you'll find out that 80 self, you don't need 80. We might make do with just 5. And the charity can become 25 or 50. Because we have more than enough. But at the beginning, let us follow Money 101. They didn't teach us in school. I'm sure if they had taught us in school, we would have all taken it. Abi? Abi, did anybody in their university had a money 101 course? I don't think so. We're asked to save at least 20% of our profit. At least. If you can do more, do more. In your sinking fund. And please let us remind ourselves that the sinking fund is not an emergency fund. It's not your car broke down, you want to go and get that money. If you are taking anything from your sinking fund, it's because you want to multiply it. It's for an investment that you will multiply and add to it. That is the only time you can take money from your sinking fund. So if you want daily running, have an account for that separately. Don't think your sinking fund is something you can go to and go and borrow money. It's not even your money. Because the way we are taught to think about the sinking fund is that it's a treasury for our children's children. So when you know it's not your money, it's not yours to give, it's not yours to mess with, except you want to multiply it. What you pay attention to grows. What you focus on grows. Sometimes when we talk about all these steps, some people always say, I was talking to a young guy and he said, I said, there's no elevator to success, so you take the step one at a time. He said, I'm in a hurry. I said, if you're in a hurry, I've already bow, You cannot be in a hurry. Everything that goes in life goes slowly. There's a stage for planting, there's a stage for watering, manuring, weeding, harvesting, storing. There's a stage in life for everything. So we cannot be in a hurry, but let us pay attention to what is important and watch it grow. Can you remember that 7-year-old that Dr. Habib told us that we should save without touching for 7 years? Now, when he started his business and he saved without touching for 7 years, that was when he built his first hospital. And people could not believe that he did not take a loan to build that hospital because it was the biggest in the area. Just 7 years old. Some people cannot save for 7 days or 7 months or 7 weeks. Let's stop saving and unsaving. Residual income outgrow your expenses. Money that is coming in without you work. Residual income is passive income. It should be more than how much is going out. Some people, the problem we have is how much is going out is more than how much is coming in. And residual income means money that you are not even working for. It's just coming in. So that is setting big goals. Setting it so big that even your mind will shake. But that doesn't mean it's not achievable. They said there's no unreasonable goal. There's just unreasonable time frame. Because they gave themselves time. It did not say, oh, we're going to get to the first 20 next year. They might give themselves a 10-year plan to get there. And then they outline the things that we need to do to get to where we want to go. But it was not done overnight. It was not microwaved. Generates massive ambition. We should stop believing little. We should think of owning a private jet. Why not? The people that own private jets, have you seen them? Is there anybody with 2 heads? Or 4 legs? Or 7 eyes? No. So why do we think we cannot do it? What makes us different? Shebi, they said we're all made in His image. There were some people that were made. And you know the funny thing is, a lot of people that are very rich, it's not as if they're very smart or very intelligent. They just do things that other people are not doing to get results that other people will not get. And those things are the things that we're being taught here continuously. And some of us are still not doing. Please, can we not let people distract us? When we're talking about our life like this, let us be serious. Let us be serious, please. We can even leave our phones in the car if it's a disobedient phone. Some phones will embarrass you. Leave it in the car. Let us strive to be the best in whatever it is that we're doing. Ask yourself, what would I do to be the best? What can I do to improve myself today? What little thing can I do? Is a Japanese word called kaizen. Small incremental changes done consistently. That consistent word, it keeps coming up. Because it's showing us that it's not once in a while. Consistently, over a long period of time to get the results we want. There was a story I read about the cyclist in UK for a long time, for over 100 years. For the Olympics, they've not won any medal. For like 100 years, they've been cycling. In fact, people making bicycles, they've said they don't want to sell bicycles to them again because they were becoming an embarrassment to their reputation. And then they got this coach that decided that we're just going to do small things, to see where the problem is. He started by oiling their wheels, adjusting the position of the seats, changing the clothes that they wear to cycle, putting them through a wind tunnel and, all just small things. And when they started winning, they were simply unstoppable. The same team, it's not that they changed the people. The same set of people, but just small things over time. Even the color of their locker room to white. The clinic their masseuse that massages their feet. They change the ointments that they use. Just small things. And they've been losing for 100 years. When they started winning, it was as if they opened a funnel. Everything went kapash. So let us look for those small things in our own businesses too. That we can tweak a little here, a little there. Something that you see somewhere that is working, can we implement it, can we introduce it? Decide to be a legend. It doesn't take a day to be a legend. For them to call you a legend, you've been around a long time. They didn't call Jimon a legend until he was 77? He's been around he's been doing it for like 40, 45 years. Legendary is not overnight. We keep working on it. Think big. Think and grow rich. You've all read it, have you? If you've not read it, I don't know what you're doing here. Because that singular book was what Dr. Habib read. He told us that from his first year in university, he read it once every month till he graduated. So he's read it like 72 times. And by the time he graduated, it was second year after NYSC, he started his own business. So if there's one book that can do that, and you have not read it, will be on you. Think and grow rich. Small book. Please do yourself a favor and get the book if you have not read it. And you know, the funny thing about that book is you cannot read it one time and understand. That was why he had to go 72 times. How many of us have read it 5 times? How many of us are still reading it? May God make it easy for us. Believe big, act big, achieve big, generate big plans. Duplicate and multiply yourself. When he started that hospital, then he said he read the book. He got 2 people, gave them the book, discussed with them who is best suited for this. Some of us were not training our staffs. Mr. Ayoba, Mr. Sulaiman, came to me after the last seminar and he said he trained staff and he wanted to come and do pro bono for me. You know, when you hear free, you're always happy to get something for free. You can get it for free, why not? So he said, I just want to come and train your staff. I heard that you train every Thursday. So can you give me 2 Thursdays? Just come and talk to them about it. And he came, and it was good. But he did it for free. He did it for free. And then I asked my staff, you know, I talk to you all every Thursday. Maybe you're tired of my voice. Do you want him to come? He said, yes. We can have him come in once a month, one of our Thursdays, just to take this. What are you? So we need to duplicate and multiply ourselves so we would not be necessary for the business to run. We'll make ourselves unnecessary. And the business will keep running and keep making money because we've duplicated ourselves. But we need to train constantly, consistently, not once in a while. And I hope you know that the kind of staff that we want, they're not ready-made. No, they're not. We need to train them. Some of them, they have the energy, the enthusiasm, you know, they have those qualities we're looking for. But we still need to, you know, make them read, do seminars. When I go to my office now, I'm there, we're listening to Les Brown or Jimon or something. Everybody's listening. Because we learn through 2 ways, through our ears and through our eyes. So it's either you are listening or you are reading. There's no other way. So even when you are working and you are listening to something, it's a constant renewal of your mind. We need to, this time more than ever, we need to constantly renew our mind. Women, when you're in the kitchen, go and get those, what's it called, speakers, Bluetooth speakers. Instead of you thinking of the price of tomato, be listening while you are working. I do that all the time now. I hate the kitchen initially. I don't like it. I'm looking for a chef, if anybody will give me one. You know, but now when I'm in the kitchen, because I'm learning, so it's not as laborious. So let us constantly be learning something, listening to something. Download them with Wi-Fi and have them saved on your phone. and listen. Somebody was telling me the other day, how do you hear what all these people are saying? Because all their English sometimes. But constantly when you listen, you understand. Maybe the first time you listen, you might not understand everything that they're saying. But over time, you just find out that even before he says it, you are saying it and you are laughing at him. I particularly like Les Brown because you know that it's been scientifically proven that 1 minute of laughter strengthens your immune system by 24 hours. 1 minute. But you know what 1 minute of anger also does? It weakens your immune system by 45 hours. 1 minute. Yes. So I like Les Brown because it's very funny. He's giving you the nuggets or he's making you laugh. I will laugh, because I want to boost my immune system too, apart from learning. There are 4 levels of desire. Desire is what I want. What do you desire? There's just one side, there's I wish. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. I wish. Those people that are wishing are not ready to put in the work. What is required? It's not just wishing, are you willing to do what is necessary? I want to be rich. Everybody wants to be rich now. You ask anybody, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. Everybody wants to. But are you committed? Are you going to give it all it takes? Everything that you need to do, no matter that's the truth, are you committed to be rich? Commitment means no excuses. No excuses is acceptable. Because where there is excuses, we don't get results. And when you get results, there are no excuses. So are you committed to be rich? And then there's another level. Obsession. Dr. Habib is on that stage. He said, he wakes up and he remembers the weed chasing him in his dream. So he gets up to eat. He doesn't want the weed to catch up with him or overtake him. The weed from the farms of his early years. There's something called magnificent obsession. It's either I do it or I die. There's no other way. There's no do or do. It's either I do it or I don't. It's I do it or I die. That is one question I always ask myself when I want to buy something and it seems very pressing. And I ask myself, if you don't buy it, would you die? And the answer is always no. So anytime you want, that hair, that's leaning forward, that makes that look like Maradona, I have to buy it. If you don't buy it, would you die? No. There's nothing like if I don't buy it. We have to learn to delay gratification like this. I need to really talk about. Because that is one of the things that is killing a lot of people's businesses. You will get to say that you are committed to nothing else but to succeed. To nothing else but to succeed. It's either we do it or we die. But we are not going to die. We're going to live long. To 120 years. And it is the money that we have that will make those 120 years pleasurable. It's not like the children will be saying, I've gone to the hospital and that will. No. I have exceedingly and abundantly more than enough to take care of our necessities and our luxuries. Not just necessities, our luxuries. Luxuries is a bad term. Dr. Habib will say, what does it call me? Minister of Enjoyment. I like that name. Unlimited supply. So we are ready to follow all the teachings. plenty or you don't. There's nothing like I have some integrity. Our words should be our words. What we say we are going to do, we do. Even when it's not convenient. Because sometimes you give a promise, and then eventually you realize that it's not convenient. And then you want to back out. But you've given your word. Asobe, kobabe. It's very key in our businesses. I will be rich, I will die. I will be rich, I'll be rich, I'll be rich, and I will leave. There's no other option. Be willing to start small. To test run, start free, which was what you did. Volunteer, you want to gain some experience, volunteer. To do work for free. Apprenticeship, that is what the Igbo people do in Alaba. Harvard said they are coming to study them. The Igbo's method of an apprenticeship in Alaba. They take you under, they show you the ropes. After a while, they give you your money, you establish, they hold you. And they are all doing well. They're thriving. Do we know Alaba market in Lagos?
Sorry.
That's what they do.
You might. Sorry.
Thank you. They said we should start small because it's easy to correct small mistakes. You know, there's this Yoruba proverb that says, "Tí ọmọdé bá ṣubú, ìpalára ẹ̀ ò kí ń pọ̀," because ó súnmọ́lẹ̀. That is when a child falls. It's different from when an adult falls. When an adult falls, there's a POP. But when a child falls, you just pick them up because they're closer to the ground. So they don't hurt as much, except they fell from the dining table. But if they are walking and they fall, they're closer to the ground, so the hurt is not much. Even if they're going to bruise, it won't be like when an adult falls. Bones will break. So when we're starting small, our mistakes are small. You just started, you invested 100,000. Make mistakes. It's not the same thing when you are neck deep in 100 million. Some people will have that kind of mistake, and if their mind is not strong enough, they can die. But when you start with 100,000, how much is 100,000? You make mistakes, you learn from it, you go, you move forward. The best way to grow slowly. There's no elevator to success. One step at the time. And all you need to see is that next step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Because even if some of us see the whole staircase, we'll run. Because if you see the things locking on each stairway for you, the problems that you will face that are inevitable. You know, Yoruba proverb will say, riru eri won fi n deru bororo ni. We haven't seen this before. It's just talk. There's nothing under the sun that is new. Absolutely nothing. Except COVID. But before COVID, we had something. What was that thing that woman died from? Ebola, you know. Yeah, so there's nothing new under the sun, really. Great haste, great waste. Imagine you know, when the soup is hot and it will burn you. It will burn you. So we need to be careful and do our due diligence so we don't waste our hard-earned money. If it appears too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. My father will always say it takes a little bit of greed for somebody to swindle you. They'll tell you they'll give you 50%. Even in your own business, you don't get 50% profit. And you want to hand your hard-earned money to someone to manage it for you. What's wrong with your own hand? Are they banks? The turtle always wins. We know the story of the turtle and the hare. Slow and steady. Avoid the borrowing mentality. Some people feel that if they don't borrow, they cannot progress.